Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of Mustang Motivation, and today we're going to be installing a 4-gauge alternator power wire. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Here is the alternator power wire upgrade. This is a 4-gauge wire. If you are running a 130 amp alternator and not running the factory one, this is highly recommended to make sure your vehicle is properly charging. I have electric fans on mine, so I had to ditch the stock alternator, went and upgraded, like I said, to the 130 amp. Now I need to install this to ensure that my charging system is working properly. So just stick with me here. This should be a short little video, but let's go ahead and get this installed on the Mustang. Okay, let's pop the hood. Right here. Here we are under the hood and in the engine bay. First thing we want to do is disconnect your battery. Luckily for me, I had some corroded battery cables that I had to chop off. You know, just the connector right there was super corroded. It was one of these cheap ones like this. I definitely want to get rid of this. This seems like the weak point in any of your power and ground cables, but just make sure those are disconnected, and let's remove your battery. Once the battery is removed, let's go ahead and remove our coil cover. Alright, we have that coil cover off, and here we are at our starter relay. We're going to remove the nut from the left post on that starter relay, and that's where we will run our cable all the way to the front of the engine. Over here, snake it through, and then hook it up right here to the back of our alternator. Alright, let's get that going. Alright, I have the cable, have my left terminal post, the nut taken off. I'm just going to route this on top real quick just to see where our best wire management is going to be. So let me just place the wire on here to give us a good look at how we're going to run the wire. We have the wire hooked up to that left post on that starter relay. Right here. Got it snaked. There's the big fuse junction box right there. Got it just kind of snaked on top. This is where it's going to be ran. It's going to be ran under that air cleaner behind the radiator, and then we'll just wire it up here. And we'll take the nut off the back of the alternator and install the power cable right there. So let's go ahead, get this cable all dressed in, get it ready to run, make it look nice and neat, get it hooked up to that alternator. This is where I got the first wire right here. Got it ran over here, through here. We'll have it dip down here. You can see it's right there. We'll just run it along inside of here, all the way over here. Got the wire ran all the way down through here. You can see the wire is right here. I'll end up zip tying it up, making it look nice and neat. There's a spot right here you can run the wire through. Just simply grab your hand right here. Just pull that wire through. Here we are at the back of the alternator. I have the cable that's going to be hooked up. Just remove the 10mm nut right here on the back of your alternator and install this power cable. Once you got that power wire on, just go ahead and tighten up that nut. Just going to give a couple zip ties right here to run this down here alongside this harness. Got it zip tied there. Ran down under the air cleaner box. Got it running right there alongside that harness. Gonna add a couple zip ties right here. Can add a couple zip ties right here so it's held onto that harness. Okay, here we go. Here's the routing. Got it routed down by here, under the air box, through the radiator support. You can see it down there. A couple zip ties here to the already existing wiring. Ran all the way through here. You can see the zip tie, I have it there. A couple more zip ties over here by the battery tray. This thing's actually in place. It comes with some self-tappers to self-tap right here on this fender, but this thing's on here pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna worry about it as long as you have it zip tied pretty good. But then just have it snaked right there on the left terminal post. Now that you have everything ran, just take your ratchet or wrench, whatever you have, just tighten up that left terminal. Make sure it's nice and snug. Alright. Okay, let's start putting everything back together, cutting all the zip ties. Let's get our coil cover back on and our battery put back in. I did run into one issue here when reinstalling the battery. It seems the battery I have is a little bit taller than the stock height battery, so it pushes this connector up a little high, and I have just the slightest amount of hood interference. I mean, I could run it there, I could move it up just a little bit more. Let's see exactly what I could do. Okay, went ahead and fixed the little hood clearance issue here. Luckily they do give you enough slack. You can see it still ran. You know, you can even get more if you decide to run it this way, but luckily enough, we had enough clearance here, and I have the coil cover back on. I think I'm going to attach it to right here, but it might interfere with the washer fluid reservoir. So I have this Velcro here, double-sided Velcro. I'm just going to put it here on the back so I can stick it here, and if I need to move it to fill up the reservoir, I can just move it out of the way, just like that. Got it attached with the Velcro. If I need to move it, comes off just like that. Put it back on, just like that. Looks like we got the 4-gauge alternator power wire installed and ready to go. Stay tuned, we have a lot more cables we're getting ready to replace on the Foxbody.